AskReddit by standard stock 3454. What's the greatest legal loophole you've found in life? At one point, there was a statute in Virginia that essentially said if there was no one manning the booth to get on the toll road, you were not responsible for a fine if you ran it, because otherwise you had to have exact change. But in my area, they ended up completely unmanned after a certain hour, so I had a letter I provided my friends as a template so that they could completely avoid this hefty fine. Worked for all of us. Virginia is the only state I've been to that actually took the toll off of a road because they'd made enough money. Unheard of these days. I missed out, but I loved the gold dollar fiasco. In 2008 the US Mint produced more than 1 billion new gold dollar coins. Nobody wanted them. So they figured maybe if they offered free shipping then people would order some online. Some clever folks ordered bookers of them using credit cards that gave rewards, frequent flyer miles, etc. When the coins were delivered they just deposited them into their bank accounts, paid off the credit card bill, and went to Hawaii with their free frequent flyer miles. I was one of those folks that was using this. Made it so my girlfriend, now wife, and I got to see each other a few times before you stopped being long distance. I did not use this to its full extent and greatly regret it. It used to be cheaper for me to take a class at a nearby university and get student health insurance that way than it was to just buy health insurance. If you get really lucky, you can find a professor who'll let you do a 1-hour independent study, and it's even cheaper, and if they're cool with your reasons, you won't even have to work that hard. Haven't checked out the prices or done a comparison lately, but it's always an option, as long as you don't pick an online class that doesn't qualify for health insurance. Plus you would be able to take advantage of any other benefits that come with having a valid student ID, discounted admissions to attractions, cheaper groceries on certain days, etc. My little brother got a job at Harvard. He didn't have a college degree. He was allowed to take one class a semester, or something like that. It took him 10 years, but he got a degree from Harvard in archaeology. Had a friend take a summer course at NYW. You didn't have to be a student for this course. Ended up in the system and signed up for full classes and became a student without ever going through the admissions process. Classes got hard a year to and he transferred out, but we considered him the act like you belonging for a while after that. I once got a speeding ticket for driving 52 in a 35 mph USA. I was driving on a stretch of road that was only about a mile long, intersections at both ends, and there were no speed limit signs on the road. All adjacent roads had a posted speed limit of 35. So one would assume that the speed limit on the road I was stopped on should be 35. But state law dictates that the default speed limit on county roads when not otherwise posted is 50 miles per hour. I took pictures of the road at several places to show that there were no posted speed limit signs, and brought those pictures to court when I challenged the ticket and the judge dropped the ticket. This isn't truly great in the grand scheme of things, but for a moment I felt like I had just won the greatest legal case in history. My mom got a ticket once for driving on a dirt shoulder to get around a long line of cars to reach a right turn lane. She told the story to a friend who was a traffic engineer. He went out and took some pictures and submitted a report saying the turn lane should be longer. The ticket got dropped, and the county added another 100 feet of turn lane. Local online retail store, think H&M, ran a competition to win a $150 off coupon. I naturally entered with my account, my sister and my mom's. All three of us won and the coupon code sent to all of us was the exact same. So I figured if I created a different email every time, I'd continue using it. Which I did, for the whole year until the expiration date, and by that time I had spent over $5,000 without them noticing. This feels like when I ordered Jimmy John's in college and they messed my order up. They gave me a replacement order and added a couple cookies and a drink to my sub as an apology, which was cool. For whatever reason, if I hit the express reorder or whatever it was called, it would go through as free again. I didn't want to make it obvious, so I used it like once a week until the website interface changed and it stopped working. It was a while ago, so I don't remember exactly how long this lasted, but it was something like a year and a half. Pay offer insurance company $5 a week until it took so long they settled the debt $2K less than what I owed. They couldn't take me to court as long as I paid something. Had a very similar experience with medical debt that went to collections while I was fighting with insurance to cover it. Paid the absolute minimum monthly for a couple years. They eventually offered to forgive the debt for a significantly reduced portion of the remaining amount. Originally, my logic was just, fuck these guys, if I have to pay them I'll make it suck for them as much as I can. But it eventually worked out even better. While in college, I won a free pizza for a year contest from Papa John's on a radio station. It was really one pizza per month for 12 total. I called in and told the guy I had the little card they gave me, and he said no problem and sent the delivery guy over, who confirmed I had a card and gave me my pizza. Next month I did the same. Then it dawned on me, they are not taking my card or marking it in any way, so I called a different Papa John's and told them my story, and sure enough it worked and they didn't do anything with my card either. I started working 4 different PJs near me to get one pizza per week every month without arousing suspicion. With leftovers, I could stretch it to 2 or 3 days easily. I did this for almost 2 years before I was sick of PJ's Pizza and gave my card to my roommate as I finished college and moved out. For a broke-ass college kid, this saved me. But I won a radio show contest for hot dogs. It was several cases and filled our fridge and freezer. I ate those for about 2 semesters. I might have had 5 hot dogs in past 15 years. Cruise ship casino. I was gifted $200 in credit to pay for ship extras activities when I ordered my cruise package. When I got to the casino I realized you could load that credit into the slot machines. After one round of testing with depositing a small amount and immediately cashing it out worked, I went back and came out of the casino with 2 crisp $100 bills, never placing a bet. My old boss used to do something similar. Took the night's takings down the casino, bought chips, had a couple of drinks and then cashed out the chips as a check, and deposited it into his bank. Reported near zero profits or wage. And the checks were always from the casino, so said that was just his winnings from the tiny amount he had taken to the casino. I mean, it's not even a loophole, it's just straight up evasion and laundering, but he was never caught on it. To help build your kids' credit, make them an authorized user on your cards. Don't actually let them use it, but your use and payment on your card seems to transfer to the kid. Stepson had a 730 credit score at 21 without ever taking out any cards loans himself. Another credit tip: if you file bankruptcy and need to build credit and have some cash, take out a secured loan with a bank credit union. You have to front the money in a savings account and make payments, but there is no reason to get turned down and it rapidly builds your credit back. Yep, I'm in my 30s and have a 28-year credit history because of this. Not a legal loophole, but a business one. The New York Yankees in their late 90s heyday had a trick to get playoff and World Series tickets. Since orders were taken over the phone and batch processed overnight, there would inevitably be data entry errors or over limits that would kick a sale back and those tickets back into the available pool. Simply calling ad opening the day after tickets went on sale got us tickets to every postseason game we wanted to go to 4 years until they switched to real-time credit card processing. The Mets ticket number was 718-570-TIXX. Had a friend who found all the individual extensions to the TIXX number. Everyone scored Subway Series World Series tickets. Airbnb related. If someone messages you about having more guests over than what you specified on the booking and claim they have you on camera, check to see if they disclose cameras on the property. If not, you do not have to pay for the nights you stayed. If they don't message you, can you still do that? I had Domino's Pizza app and they had a short-lived code for a week mid-pandemic for 50% off. They pulled the coupon but I saved the code. I manually input it every time I ordered. It worked for a year and a half and I saved a bloody fortune on pizza. It did sting a lot afterwards having to look at regular price for a pizza. I did Friday pizza night every week for the family so it added up quickly. I did the same thing with Burger King during the pandemic. They had a deal free kids meal with purchase of $1 so I'd order a $1 chicken JR and then get a double cheeseburger kids meal with a slushie as the drink. I'd go 1-2 times per week for about a year before the app pulled the code. My brother is one to always look for deals. Years ago he stumbled across this deal for movie tickets to a certain theater chain. But this was large number of tickets that were all about to expire the next day and be worthless. Sleuthing around online he somehow found a way to renew all these movie tickets at no charge. He bought $1,500 worth of movie tickets for about $5. We saw so many movies that year that you can get a divorce by default. I legit cried after 2 years of struggling to get the papers signed, a divorce that he asked for too. You can do that with marriage adoption as well. My bio dad would contact the courts just enough to be considered a part of things. Somehow he would always forget to sign things. My mom remarried and there was all kinds of hassle about parental rights. Sometimes step-parents have trouble getting kids out of school if there's an emergency, and medical stuff wouldn't be easy if my mom wasn't there. So the judge who signed the marriage certificate took 3-year-old me and the guy who wound up raising me into the back room and asked me if I wanted to call him dad. I said yes, and the judge signed an order to have my birth certificate updated with him as my dad. I tried and failed to get tickets for the London Olympics via the main ticket application site. A small number of tickets are also sold by national associations and so I went through every single European country's Olympic websites. Every one was in high demand or required being a resident except one. On the Icelandic website, the English version mentioned nothing, but if you went to the Icelandic language version, then you could buy tickets for almost any event. So I immediately bought the cheapest tickets for the 100m athletics final, the tennis finals, and the swimming finals. That's clever. In college, I found out that placing a dime in the dorm basement vending machine and pressing the coin return immediately returned a quarter. Paid for a lot of laundry with that hack. A coworker had a car where it would come with a 30-day free trial of SiriusXM. He never signed up, but after getting a new battery installed he found that the trial renewed itself. Eventually he figured out that all he needed to do for free SiriusXM was to disconnect the battery every 30 days and the trial would automatically reset. Reminds me of software trials for us old dudes. 30-day trial, then you have to buy. That means uninstall reinstall every month. Health insurance policies regulated by my state, VA, require the value of pharma company coupons rebates to count towards my deductible and max out of pocket. So I can blow through my HSA eligible level deductible for $25 with the first 90-day fill of a qualifying medicine. Yep. I have medication that is $2.50 a month, usually filled 3 months at a time. Insurance doesn't cover it, but the manufacturer does as long as you sign up for their copay card or whatever, so it's basically free. Insurance sees it as being paid, meaning my deductible for the year is met every January, and we don't pay anything medical related for the rest of the year. I got a refund on a non-refundable flight with Delta. Normally if you cancel a non-refundable flight, they will only give you the value back as a voucher to use on another flight. I booked a non-refundable flight that I didn't need to take, then cancelled it and got the voucher for the amount for that flight. I used that voucher and booked a refundable flight, then cancelled it. It gave me the option to refund it back to my credit card and it let me do it, so I got my money back instead of it being applied as a voucher again. Amtrak had a deal for a while where value fares could be changed for free, but had cancellation penalties if you cancelled too close to the scheduled departure. So the solution if your plans changed was to change your ticket to later date, and then cancel it for a refund. My dad got a parking ticket. On the ticket it said the car was black. My dad's car was dark green. He contested and won. This was before they took photos and I guess they just didn't press it, but still, no charge. I had a similar parking ticket. The meter maid wrote the wrong make of car on the ticket. ID badged my car. I took my registration to court and contested that I didn't own this make of car. It was dismissed. GameStop ran an promotion where they bought used games for €50. Specific games though. Anyway, I ran to nearby outlet stores, bought the stock for €20-30 per game and threw them to GameStop and got cash. I got about €900 out of that before they fixed it. I did something similar many years ago. A local chain store had a pallet of Guitar Hero games on sale. It was the bundle that included the game and guitar and were normally $150 on sale for $99. I bought as many as my 16-year-old self could, only 4 copies, and returned them to Walmart where they weren't on sale. I made $200. Not really a legal loophole but more a poorly programmed mobile app. Me and my co-workers use the Subway app for our lunch. It would generate 1 coupon per day. Most of these coupons weren't that great, however there was a rare 50% off coupon that had like a 1 in 10 chance of spawning. The trick was this app just checked the local device time, so if you switch the day-to-day forward you would get a new chance. Needless to say, my co-workers and I always showed up with the 50% off coupon until they deprecated the app for a new system. Was fun while it lasted. I went to Hawaii, all expenses paid, for a job interview that I was not qualified for. 3 nights at a decent hotel and free airfare. Tell us more. Have everything put into an irrevocable trust. If your car is damaged by a pothole, go to the city's website and search for the road maintenance and car repair portal and you can get reimbursement. Just document and keep records. These two are not related in case anyone is wondering.